As I close my eyes, I perceive myself on the edge of, on the beginning to. I feel behind the pain, the war, the anger, the violence, the lies, the illusion. And I feel before the light, the love, home. Oh, it feels so wonderful. It has been a very long excursion through many lifetimes on poor beloved Gaia, who was taken over by the darkness long ago, and it ruled on and on. But no longer can it rule, though it tries harder and harder every day. It tries to have at least one terrifying event hit the news as often as possible. Terror, fear, agony, death. Why? Because we are leaving, and they know it. Those who live in the dark, those who create the dark, they know that we are leaving. Their prey is leaving. That we are stepping beyond an invisible line that they cannot see. They know, some of them, that we send this feeling of some kind of love that they can't even begin to imagine, and some color of fire they've never heard of. But some know, the young ones know, the children know, the new indoctrinatees are remembering. They are accepting the unconditional love, and they are using the violet fire. They are breaking their programming. Now, can they step across the line? Anyone can step across the line. Everyone can step across the line. The challenge is not stepping across that invisible line. The challenge is perceiving that it's even there. Because we can only perceive a reality that resonates to the frequency of our consciousness. So we can only perceive this threshold into fifth dimensional realities when our consciousness can resonate to that threshold, that moving beyond the illusions of and into the ever-present multidimensional light, the feel of unconditional love, and the transmutational glory of violet fire. It is there for all. It is there for free. All you need do is expand your consciousness to the frequency in which you can perceive it. Once you can perceive it, it is your choice. You can live just before the line because you don't quite feel ready. You can waver on that line and move into the higher frequencies and jump back to that which is familiar. Or you can stay longer and longer within that frequency. And as you stay longer and longer within that frequency, your mind begins to change. Your body begins to change. You begin to transmute into your light body and into your multidimensional mind. How does that feel? We don't know, do we? We never did it before like this. Yes, most of us that are perceiving this line have had at least one, if not many, lives in which we consciously walked across into the higher worlds and maybe even experience the higher realms of the fourth dimensional nirvana. And some of us, more and more each day, are remembering our true life in the fifth dimension and beyond. And that is a wonderful remembrance, for we have something to return to. So therefore it is not frightening. For those who do not remember, it feels like stepping over an invisible line into an unknown reality. The unknown reality feels wonderful, but they don't know anything about it. And maybe their feelings are wrong. Their third dimensional feelings are wrong very often. Maybe it's another ploy of the darkness. They have learned don't trust anyone or anything. And so those of us that have somehow regained and or stayed in continual contact with our own multidimensional self, it is our joy and what we volunteered to do to find those that waver at the edge, that just need a little bit of information, a little bit of security, a hand of love. They just need a little bit of help to say, look, this is what it's like across the line. Don't be afraid. Here, let us tell you a story about life on the fifth dimension. And then we try to tell them how it feels to live in complete unconditional love and unconditional acceptance and unconditional forgiveness. Forgiveness, such a novel concept to the third, fourth dimensional world. And it is that unconditional forgiveness of ourself, that unconditional acceptance that we called on these challenges, and that we unconditionally forgive ourselves for any means in which we faltered or fell apart or had anger or lost faith. We forgive ourselves unconditionally, and we accept unconditionally that is normal, because we are changing realms. And as more and more each day, each hour, each minute, each second, each breath, we remember how to unconditionally love ourselves, our consciousness begins to expand. And as our consciousness expands, our perceptions expand. And we begin to see the wavering light of something that we know is not third dimensional, of something that we know is beyond that which we experience in our dreams. It is something that reminds us of our home, of the beings and the places that we were and that we lived in before we took this third dimensional form. And we allow ourselves to sit with it, to just be with it. Many of us have had myriad incarnations, and there is a lot to forget, a lot to forgive, a lot to release. And as we do so, as we forget, because we remember, as we release, because we know, and as we find that courage to trust ourself, that inner vision, those inner voices, our dreams, our aspirations, that which so many of us have held secret within because it was not safe to share. as we begin to share. Together, we make Ascension normal. Blessings. Make Ascension normal because it is.